Yo, what's poppin', people? Your boy Snacks is back in the building with another banger. You know how we do. Before we get started, we got to share the love and shout out the people that watch and say thank you. But while you're here, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to leave your comments down in the comment section and let us know what you think about all the videos. And while you're here, make sure you shout out to see you aunties when you see them in the comment section. When you see them in the live chat, make sure you say what's up and tell them thank you for all the likes and all the shares and showing the love and support to my channel and a bunch of other Colorado, Cleveland Browns, Jacksonville, and the Panthers, Baltimore Ravens type channels. They are everywhere showing love to a lot of Colorado players. Let's get this party started. Around this draft and this draft class, this front office has made a mockery of NFL football. I don't think any of them deserve to keep their job if things keep going in the direction that they're going. Kevin Stefanski, Mr. Berry, if they don't make decisions and do things the right way at the end of the season, every last one of them need to go. Let's go. Now, as far as this draft class went, I think the Browns wasted. If if they are going in the direction that everybody, not just some, that everybody seems to think that they are going in the direction of looking for and looking forward to those first round picks and taking a quarterback in the first round of the 2026 NFL draft, when Kevin Stefanski and the GM need to be fired, because this is a wasted draft class. If that is the case, there is no doubt that Shedeur is the best quarterback that they've drafted. There's no doubt that going into this draft that Shedeur Sanders was the best quarterback, regardless of where he was drafted, that he was the best quarterback that they have. Joe Flacco, old, 40 plus years old. Kenny Pickett, 3 teams in 4 years. He was traded from the Philadelphia Eagles for Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR, and a 5th round draft pick. And the Philadelphia Eagles decided to go with a backup of somebody of no name, no recognition, and no football acumen over Kenny Pickett. Dillon Gabriel, drafted in the 3rd round of the 2025 NFL draft ahead of Shedeur Sanders. Now let's count the picks that are wasted in this draft. 1 on Kenny Pickett. 3 on Shedeur Sanders. 4 on Dillon Gabriel. That's 5 altogether. And people say, Snacks, how do you get to that number? And what are you thinking about? Let's go 1 for the trade of Kenny Pickett, who plays with 2 gloves and has very, very small hands as a quarterback. Who your championship Philadelphia Eagles traded for the worst quarterback that the Cleveland Browns had. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who was 1-10 as the NFL quarterback, and has 1 touchdown, 10 interceptions, 13 interceptions as a quarterback in the NFL. They traded Kenny Pickett for him and a 5th-round pick. That's a wasted pick. You drafted Shedeur Sanders. You traded 2 picks up, and then you drafted Shedeur Sanders. That's 3 picks. That's 4. You drafted Kenny Pickett. You drafted Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. That's 5 picks wasted in this draft if you're looking to build around the quarterback that you draft next season, when you could have taken those draft picks and drafted wide receivers, offensive linemen, and linebackers, positions of need that you currently need. None of that was done in this draft. You drafted 2 running backs, which you needed running backs. Granted, because you wasn't going to bring Nick Chubb back, which is crazy. Kevin Stefanski has the same offense that Shedeur has ran for the last season. Shedeur is perfectly fit for this offense. And consensus is Shedeur is the best quarterback you have in the quarterback room.
Personally, that Shedeur Sanders has the most upside. This disingenuous conversation about, technically, factually, that Dylan Gabriel was drafted higher. I get it. I can't imagine there are many people in the NFL that think Dylan Gabriel has a better chance of being a quarterback in the NFL than Shedeur Sanders. He dropped because of other things.
Yeah.
He didn't necessarily drop out of the 1st round because of other things, but he dropped all the way to the 5th round because of other things. It seems pretty clear to me that he's the more talented player of the 2 rookies. And so I just don't. And plus, if you're trying to not start the rookies because you think they're not ready, there's going to be way more external pressure to play the rookies if Kenny Pickett is starting versus Joe Flacco.
I don't think you can work.
Now, that's Cleveland. That's Adam the Bull from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show telling you, why are we wasting our time with Dylan Gabriel, Kenny Pickett? Joe Flacco might not be a waste. But let's say you go through your season and you draft a quarterback in the 1st round. Still makes no sense. Because common sense would tell you you're going to keep the 2 rookies this season. There's no other reason to get rid of them unless somebody wants to trade for one of them. And it would have to be Dylan Gabriel because Shedeur is your better quarterback. Unless somebody's going to give you a king's ransom for Shedeur, then why the hell not? You've been sucking this long, you might as well continue to suck and try to find lightning in a bottle. But if you're going to keep the 2 rookies and then draft a quarterback next season, that means you have 1 rookie and 2 second-year quarterbacks in your quarterback room next year, because there will be no reason to have 4 quarterbacks. Cleveland and New Orleans are the only 2 football teams that have 4 quarterbacks. And the New Orleans Saints are in the same boat as the Cleveland Browns. Drew Rattler, Tyler Show, and those other 2 quarterbacks. What are they going to do when they're going to draft Garrett Nussmeier next season? because his dad is the offensive coordinator for the New Orleans Saints. And like Cleveland, that was a wasted pick when they know next year they're going to draft the offensive coordinator's son. Makes no sense when you really look at it. You wonder, what the hell are you guys doing? What do you really know about football? When it's obvious to us and everyone else watching who the best quarterback is. And it's more about saving face for Kevin Stefanski and Mr. Berry than winning football games. Because you drafted Shedeur in the 5th round, you drafted Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd, and if our 5th round draft pick is better than our 3rd round draft pick, and we don't play our 3rd round draft pick before we play our 5th round draft pick, we're going to look like idiots. You're going to look like idiots no matter how this turns out. No matter how this turns out. Because consensus says that Shedeur is better than Dylan. It's a worldwide phenomenon. It's a thought. It is known in all NFL circles that one quarterback is better than the other. But you don't want to look like idiots and just say, okay, here's the guy, and we're going to play him. But Dan Orlowski has a different thought on that.
This. If this offense is going under Kevin Stefanski, at least rumors to what it was a couple years ago, he's perfect for it. Because he's perfect for the under center, play action, control the line of scrimmage, see the defense, get from 1 to 2 to 3 quickly, or 1 to 2 to 3, he's got to do it more quickly, but he's custom made for that. But the way that he thinks and the way that he can see something on the board, take it to a walkthrough, and then bring it to a practice, that's how you win. He has to force that organization to play him because he's so impressive. And it will start this week, and then it will start for them to say, let's give him reps versus our #1 defense in training camp and see how he does.
And that's what's going to happen. He's not going to force them. He's just going to play football like he's always played football. And then Kevin Stefanski will have no choice but to play Shedeur. That's why they hid him from the media when he played with the ones, because they didn't want that type of spectacle where everybody sees him go off with the ones and everybody else is subpar with the ones. But come training camp, unless you don't give him the reps, that's the only way everybody won't see it. It's going to look different. It's going to show. And sooner or later, you're going to have to swallow that pill, swallow your pride, and say, we have no choice but to play Shedeur Sanders, because the media is going to call for it. The fans are going to call for it. His gameplay is going to call for it. And you will have no choice. Now, I'm still of the notion of running Joe Flacco out there games 1, 2, and 3. Just for the hell of it. Let Shedeur see it, feel the atmosphere, see the game vibes, see it all play out live in living color. And then after that, you stick him out there and let him go for what he knows. But in order for him to get that experience, he has to play a game. But they have wasted all of these draft picks if you want to go and pull another quarterback come the start of the next season. If you want to draft another quarterback at the start of the next season, then what was the purpose of drafting 2 quarterbacks in this draft? What was the purpose of any of it? While y'all doing, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your comments in the comment section. But what is the purpose of doing what you've done? Why did you draft 2 quarterbacks if your sole intentions were to draft another quarterback with one of the 2 first-round picks you have next season? If that was your intention when you traded for Travis at 2 to get that extra pick, why did you draft 2 quarterbacks in this draft? Your intention should have been to draft a quarterback and build on that quarterback. Save those 2 picks that you got next year in the first round and make your team better around that quarterback instead of trying to find another quarterback. This has been Cleveland's problem for years. You're 40 quarterbacks in 25 years because you keep trying to find lightning in a bottle instead of trying to build your team. Instead of building your O-line. Do what Philadelphia did. They didn't look for lightning in a bottle. They built a team. They went and got every SEC lineman they could find that they thought was good and said, y'all come here. Georgia, Alabama, LSU, all y'all come here. The Philadelphia Eagles is an SEC conglomerate. From the quarterback down, they are full of SEC players, especially on the offensive and defensive line. But they built their team over the years, and they've just been stacking players, getting better. Cleveland has spent years trying to find a quarterback instead of getting good players every year and building your team. Washington built their team and then when he got a quarterback. You think Jaden Daniels would perform the way he performed without the players around him to protect him, the receivers to catch the ball, the running back to run the ball, besides him being able to run the ball himself? Defenses. They built a team. Cleveland is just trying to find a quarterback without the rest of it. And luckily, you have a Shedeur Sanders who has played without good linemen for years, who knows how to manage that part of the game. Stop trying to find lightning in a bottle and construct an entire football team. Don't just grab one player here, one player there. That's what Pittsburgh has been doing for years. Pittsburgh let Ben Roethlisberger put them in a hole. And then this year they let Aaron Rodgers handicap the shit out of him. And for the first time in my life, I hope they have a losing season because Aaron Rodgers wasn't worth it. Tomlin is going to lose his ass messing around with Aaron Rodgers when Shedeur was there at 21 and you should have got it. And I don't like Pittsburgh anyway because I'm a Cowboys fan and I hope they suck all year long. It's 4th of July. We getting our drink on just a little bit before we get up out of here. It's a rainy day in Texas. The sun is not shining. And Cleveland needs to figure out what the hell they are doing and what are they going to do. They need to build a football team instead of looking for a quarterback. If you build a team, you can get somewhat of a decent quarterback and still win football games. Y'all too busy worried about a Super Bowl for a team that has never been to a Super Bowl. They always hollering about Super Bowls. I'm a Cowboys fan, and we ain't been to a Super Bowl in almost 30 years. damn it. We build some teams. Keep a decent quarterback. And don't give up on a quarterback as quick as Cleveland does. But if you put players around that quarterback, you can do what Dallas has done for 30 years. Sustain and stay relevant, and at least make it to the playoffs all the time. Might not win, but you're in there. Tony Romo was the king of it. First round, out there. But guess what? We made the playoff. You know what I'm saying? Cleveland can't do that because they're just looking for a quarterback. And if Kevin Stefanski and Mr. Berry doesn't make the right choices, and Shedeur Sanders sits out most of the season, Dylan Gabriel sits out most of the season, both of them should lose their jobs. Because at that point, you don't deserve a second chance. And I don't care if Jimmy Haslam said draft Shedeur Sanders. I don't care if you drafted Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel wasn't projected as a third rounder. He was projected as a 6th, 7th round quarterback. There's no way a 5'11", 202-pound left-handed quarterback should have went in the third round. There are a lot of obstacles. Not saying Dylan's not a good quarterback, but he's no Shedeur Sanders. The numbers speak for themselves. The gameplay speak for themselves. A person that has less and does more is more than likely a better quarterback than a person who has a whole lot to play with and still barely gets it done. With that, I'm getting out of here, man. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. I'm finna go put my clothes on, go eat something, drink a few, and bring my behind here because I'm getting back on the road at midnight. You know what I'm saying? I got to run to Houston. I'm going to holler at y'all. Y'all be easy. I'm out. Peace.